Relax tension at the top. One more. Bruce Lee would be proud. Anyway, we had another completely rainy evening and night. I got up. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. There was a stoppage in the rain. I immediately hopped on the bike and got an hour in. And then the heavens opened up and it's been raining ever since. Since that time, I've done nothing but do SFE. Guys, get the book. I'm gonna do a video specifically on SFE coming up. Anyway, I got an unbelievable clip from Perico on Faddis talking about popping in the upper register. It is great. I was all set to do this first until Nick sent me this thing, a BATALLAN, playing licks from the Michael Hayden, and this is one of the most extraordinary things I've ever heard. It is absolutely off the charts. Okay? Got a link down below for it. Check it out. It's a short little thing. I listened to it 20 times. It's brilliant. I'll explain why it's so astounding to me. Let me honk a little bit. First notes of the day, and we'll take it from there. Life's good, guys. Life's good. Explain that ending in a second. Okay? All right. BATALLAN. Let me get right to it. Now, I have been very vocal. Over the span of my career, 50 plus years in the business in varying degrees, I have been very, very disillusioned with the downward trend of in my opinion, a downward trend in the trumpet world. Okay? I talk about the golden age of trumpet and all this sort of stuff and what was going on the West Coast and Triscari Brothers and Bernie Glow and Harry James, on and on and on. Okay? But especially the orchestral. I think it's taken a hit. Until several years ago, I stumbled across this guy, Esteban BATALLAN. Am I pronouncing it right? Doesn't matter. Okay? He was still a kid in Spain. He was a big star in Spain. A kid and moved into a young professional. And I thought, oh my God, there is hope for the orchestral world. This guy is it. And when he got the coveted seat of God himself, Herseth, I said, we have a shot. We have a shot to bring brilliance, tone, power back to the orchestral trumpet world. And unbeknownst to me, he had a little scuffle with the powers that be at Chicago Symphony and actually took a sabbatical and played in Philadelphia. And came back and I read an article about it that he did not like the concept of sound that was being portrayed in Philadelphia, and he was thrilled to be back to his roots with Herseth sound, and everything is being more of ingrained into the fabric of the orchestra. Not quote, paraphrase. Okay? Along the way, if you remember, I stumbled across a recording of him playing the Star Spangled Banner for a Chicago White Sox game. And guys, that was a different, something was up there. And a guy, one of my pals, Ray Rosario, okay, I believe it was him, emailed me and said it sounded to him like that was a sound check because there was nobody in the stands and all this sort of stuff, and he was just very low-keying it before the performance, which makes sense. I thought it to be, with the thing with Philadelphia and back, he was having chop problems. And I'm thinking, oh my. And as it turns out, I could never be more happy that I was proven wrong. Okay? Now, this link down below, he is doing licks from the treacherous Michael Haydn Concerto in D. All right? Now, this piece, because of the scale up to a concert A or on a B-flat trumpet or B, is all but unplayable. Okay? Except for BATALLAN. Now, these are clips. They're live clips, but it's not a performance situation. He's just backstage goofing around with his piccolo. Now, the Michael Haydn. Maurice has never performed it live. Okay? And as far as I know, there's only 2 recordings of him doing it in his prime. Okay? One recording was not good. That high A was shaking, strained. First and only time I've ever, except for his demise at the end of his career, never heard him strain a note. This was just strained like some kid trying to squawk out a high B. Okay? He did it again. That was the first one. He did it again. It was much better. I can't believe I'm saying this, guys. It's not as good as this. Now, also, a couple things I want you to keep in mind. These licks that he are playing, many of the licks have much needed measures rest between the lick. He doesn't do it. He just puts them all together. I think he took the mouthpiece off his lips once. I didn't notice jump cuts. I will go back and check to see if there are jump cuts. If there are, I stand corrected. Okay? But also another thing, especially after watching that thing about pop from Faddis that you're going to hear tomorrow, which is pop. And again, what I did the last couple beats there, pianissimo, the notes still have to pop. Now this is an adagio controlled, more crest baby type movement. But each note, even though much of it is soft and refined and in a whisper, each note pops. It's beautiful, much like what Maurice does. Much like what Maurice does. Now, this is better. Now, it's not a full recording, but I have to say, Maurice's were overdubbed, punched in, and you can hear it all over the place. It was long ago, and the technology was not as good. But anyway, BATALLAN's licks were better. Now, taking a few licks from one piece of music, no matter how difficult it may be, does not in itself make you a better trumpet player than the other person, or a worse trumpet player than the other person, whatever it may be. Okay, let's just make that up front. These was better than Maurice's. Now, the next 2, I can't believe they're coming out of my mouth. It's almost blasphemy. And when you hear the 2 people that I am referring to here, and what high esteem I hold them, you'll see how dumbfounded I am over this clip. Now, here's the thing. Bud Herseth couldn't do this. Again, there's more to him playing than a few licks from Michael Haydn, but he couldn't do this. And here, I'm not even sure if I can get it out of my mouth without crying. Mel Broyles could do those licks, but he couldn't do them as easily. There is no strain anywhere in any of those notes. There is no dissipation one way or the other of timbre. It is uniform the whole way, and that high concert A or B just sings. He could hold on to it forever. Both recordings of Maurice, he couldn't wait to get off it. And God bless him. But this is just astounding. I want to know what you think. And thank you, God. This natural resource that is BATALLAN has no chop problems. Thank God. I was never so happy to be wrong in my whole life. Okay, guys, love you all. We'll talk again.